So thanks everyone for joining. My name is Ashley Rodzinski. I'm the Climate Environment Program Director for Groundwork Center. Really excited to be in our fourth year of this program. We have had a really great relationship with CBS through this whole run and are really excited to be partnered with them again this year. So you're getting a look right now at our team. Lila Hollis is a new clean energy specialist to Groundwork Center, started earlier last year. And she's going to be also joining this effort and can provide some technical support behind the scenes if you have any questions on Access My Solar. And then we are pleased to have the whole CBS Solar team here today. Kelly Johnson is largely the person you're going to be in touch with. He's the person that comes out to the homes and makes the solar assessment. But Vicki Olson, Alan O'Shea are also on the call and can help with answering some questions as they might pop up. So yeah, really excited to be diving into to another year of Access My Solar and helping people to get some really important solar discounts to be able to expand clean energy across northern Michigan. So you may be wondering, what is Access My Solar? Essentially, this is a solar group buy program. So folks bundle their bids together, and it ultimately results in a lower cost price for everyone. It's the bulk purchasing sort of at its finest. It's very similar to the Solarize program, if you're familiar with that in the state of Michigan. But essentially, Access My Solar really just serves residents and small business owners across northern Michigan. It runs all the way from essentially Manistee over to the Mackinac Bridge. We hit, I think, Gaylord, Petoskey, Traverse City. So it's 40 miles from both of those major cities, Petoskey and Traverse City. Unfortunately, if you're on Beaver Island, we've had this question in previous years. We do not include the islands. So apologies to folks from Beaver Island or other island places that might be tuned in. But it is, everywhere 40 miles from Traverse City and Petoskey. And the goal of the program really is just to help you save money on your energy bills, reduce your carbon footprint, and help support clean energy across northern Michigan. It really bolsters our local energy independence, our local energy security. So it's a really great program, and we're very proud to be a part of it again this year. And this year, for the first time ever, the program also includes battery storage. So that is a really big new component that is critical as you start to think about, becoming less reliant on the energy grid. There are a lot of reasons for wanting to do that, especially as we see things like data centers popping up that may be increasing some of the energy costs for the region. And then yeah, it also, as we see increasing storms, that sort of thing, that is another way just to help improve your own localized energy security, or even be able to expand that to things like virtual power plants. So pretty cool that battery storage is part of the program this year, and thanks to CBS for doing that. So we are going to dive into some of the program goals that we have for Access My Solar. The first one is, of course, expanding equitable access to clean energy. There are way too many low and moderate income households that are really locked out of the clean energy transition. And through this program, we're really aiming to ensure that families who have been historically excluded are able to access affordable solar energy and be able to reap those long-term financial benefits. Another key goal is just reducing the energy burden for Michigan families. So many Michigan households really spend a disproportionate percentage of their income on energy utility bills. So by enabling community and residential solar participation, we can help lower those monthly costs for homeowners, help to stabilize bills, and really increase household financial resilience, especially as things are really fluctuating right now. Another goal of the program is to build local wealth and economic opportunity. So, solar investment can generate local jobs, workforce pathways, and create long term savings that help to stay within the community. CBS is a local company. Alan can probably speak more to their background, but they've been here for many, many years. They employ a lot of folks in the region. And so we're really proud that the program supports kind of inclusive economic development and helps to keep those energy dollars circulating in our northern Michigan economy here. Another benefit of the program, or another goal, I guess, of the program is accelerating Michigan's clean energy transition. So to meet the climate goals and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, Michigan really needs to rapidly scale renewable energy right now. And by increasing access to solar across a diversity of communities, we're able to contribute meaningfully to statewide decarb efforts, which is really important in meeting those goals. Another goal of our program is just to strengthen our community resilience. Distributed solar power helps enhance grid resilience. It helps communities better withstand extreme weather, like the ice storms that we saw last year, as well as to combat some of the rising energy costs. So, due to things like data centers. So, clean, locally generated power is the foundation for long-term community stability. And we really believe that. I think one of the coolest pieces of this program is a lot of the work happens just in communication from neighbor to neighbor. Folks see what's happening on their neighbor's roof. They ask some questions about how it's impacting their energy bill. They learn more about, what that looks like in context, and then they think, "Well, gosh, this is a great idea for my home and my family as well." So really cool to see some of the neighbor to neighbor connections happen over the years with this program. And that kind of takes me to the final one, which is just empowering residents through education and participation. Beyond installation, we really focus a lot of this program on education and transparency to help ensure that residents can understand their energy options and really actively participate in shaping Michigan's energy future. So those are some of the goals that we have with the program. Sort of moving on to the nuts and bolts of how this program works. Um, oh, and I apologize. There's a typo in here. Our discount is up to 15% this year. So we need to adjust that. This slide was from last year where it was 10. So thanks to CBS for increasing that. I will make the changes for that before we send this out more broadly. But essentially you get a bigger discount as more folks sign up. So like I said, this year it will be capped at 15%. If you sign on to our form that we'll throw in the chat, then basically you get a free custom solar bill for your bid for your home. Kelly comes out to each home and basically looks at your unique situation. What is the aspect of your roof? What, considerations do we need to make for the trees in your yard? Or is ground mount solar appropriate for your home? What type of battery storage would you potentially want to pair with the system? Kind of explore your unique circumstances and how that, look at the real numbers and see if it makes sense based on your energy bill. So all you have to do is sign up and send your energy bill. There's no pressure to commit. Just gives you sort of an idea of what solar could look like in your home. And again, like I said, we've teamed up with CBS Solar now for the fourth year to do the installs, and we're really pleased to be partnered with them. So just looking back to give you kind of a snapshot of where we have been. The program started in 2022. It was just a small group buy. We partnered with Interfaith Power and Light in Petoskey. And we did 18 homes and businesses that year, which was really great. The following year, we expanded it to the Traverse City area and did another 15 homes and businesses. In 2024, we made that bigger geographic expansion and had just a huge number of folks interested in the program, 120 inquiries, 18 more contracts signed. That translated to nearly 100 kilowatts of new solar. And 2025 was actually our biggest year. We had 124 kilowatts of new solar added. So in terms of kilowatt energy, that was the biggest year that I think we've done. So really, really proud of how the program has gone so far, and excited to see where things go in 2026. So this is just kind of a quick testimonial from a customer last year. His solar panels are on the right-hand side of your screen, the kind of the beautiful in sort of the field part of his yard. Snapshot there. But just he said, it was a very positive experience. It all began with reaching out to Groundwork to inquire about a group purchase approach for solar, and that we heard about from some of your prior customers. And that neighbor to neighbor connection is really so important. So I suspect maybe some of you on this call today actually have a neighbor that participated in the program, and that may be what inspired you to learn more today. Um, if anyone's interested, I can send you his full testimonial. It was really great just talking about the quality of the work, how easy it was to work with CBS. They kind of took all the headaches out of the paperwork. He also talked about, the fact that the panels have essentially been maintenance free. That's a question that we get a lot, especially in a really deep snow winter like this one. That the snow just kind of sloughed off the panels, and that he was concerned that there would be an issue, and there wasn't at all this winter. So yeah, just wanted to share a quick testimonial from a prior customer, and then we can talk through the next steps. So we are going to share the form with you in the chat if it has not already been shared. And essentially, we just need your home address, your most recent energy bill, and you can share any kind of context that you'd like with us. The sign up deadline is May 31st, so please be sure to get your name on that list before then, and help us to spread the word with any neighbors or friends who might be interested in considering solar. And I will grab that link and then turn it over to Kelly with CBS for any thoughts that they might want to share.
I appreciate it, Ashley. Thanks. That was a very good snapshot of what we're doing. You did a good job with that. I just want to address CBS a little bit. CBS is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, renewable energy company in the state of Michigan. We've been doing wind and solar for over 40 years. We're based right down in Copemish, which is Thompsonville, Crystal Mountain area. We have one of the things that Alan is really proud of, and Alan's on this call with us, the owner of CBS. We don't hire any subs. CBS employs all local people, and we have our own master electrician. We have all of our own installers. And so anybody that touches your property in any way, shape, or form is an actual employee of CBS Solar. We're not hiring out people that we don't know or we haven't vetted and gone through the process of them being decent people to be on your property, because we're installing stuff on your house, so that's important. We've been doing this group buy program with Groundworks 4 years now. We actually started it in Ann Arbor 6 years ago with a lady a very nice lady by the name of Julie Roth. She actually runs the Solarize Michigan program for the city of Ann Arbor. She's just worked her way through that, but she's kind of introduced it to us, and we've been rolling with it. And Groundworks has been a great partner with us for the last 4 years, so we're really excited to work with them. As far as the program is concerned, Ashley had mentioned there's a couple of new things. This year, we've increased the group buy percentage to 15%. And if you notice on that slide that she showed for the last 4 years, we've always hit over 15 people signing up for this program. So we have very little concern that we're going to get to that 15% level. And it's just a way to really help people, make it more affordable. Our current administration is trying really, really hard to kill the renewable energy programs in the country, and they're frankly doing a bang up job at it. But we're combating that one house at a time. One of the things I did want to mention is, utility rates are going up dramatically. I was up in Rogers City Monday, talking with a customer who I've been dealing with for 3 years, and he shared his most recent bill, and Presqu'île PI&G Energy has gone from 12 cents a kilowatt hour to 18 cents a kilowatt hour in the last 6 months, because they're trying to recoup the cost of the storm that we had this time last year that went across northern Michigan through Gaylord and into Rogers City area and stuff. And so they're passing those costs that they incurred down to their customers. And we're seeing across the board utility companies raising their rates every year. And the really nice thing about solar is by putting solar on your home, you're levelizing and stabilizing your energy cost. Yes, there's an upfront cost, and we will talk about that and see if it's appropriate for you or if it works for you. But what it does is your utility costs aren't going up for the next 30, 40 years. They're going to stay right where they're at. Once you get through the payback period, which is anywhere from 9 to 11, 12 years of return on your investment, then your energy is basically free at that point moving forward. So it's a really, really good way to try to be more sustainable. There's a whole lot of green, warm, fuzzy things that we don't always get time to get into, and lowering your carbon footprint and reducing draw off the grid. Worse, Ashley had mentioned, we're starting to see these AI data centers popping up, and they're going to, our grid is already fairly fragile, and they're going to put a huge strain on the grid. And the cost of infrastructure improvement in order to supply that is going to be passed down to the consumers in the form of rate hikes. And so, getting solar on this year is really going to help you to be more sustainable and affordable, and make sure your utility bills don't go to $800, $900, $1,000 a month from a couple $100 now. So the upside, we did increase it to 15%, and batteries. Last couple of years, we haven't had batteries included in the discounted side of the program. We've been offering batteries, but Alan's done a really good job negotiating with some of our suppliers to help bring our costs down for the battery side. So we're able to pass that savings down to you guys now as the customers, so that we can include the batteries into that discounted rate too. Because as we found out with that storm last spring, if when the grid goes down for 3 or 4 weeks, solar is great, but you have to have that battery backup in order to utilize it. And at nighttime, you're not going to run a generator all night long. You want to be able to have that battery backup to help get you through to the next day. So I'm open to questions. Alan, do you have anything that you wanted to add? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I did want to introduce Vicki and Jesse. They are our provisioning arm. Those two girls do all the heavy lifting. My job is the easy one. I show up at your house and we have coffee and we tell jokes and we talk about what we can do for you. And I always tell customers, if it makes sense financially for you, CBS will figure out how to do it. If not, after our conversation and your kitchen table, you're going to walk away knowing way more about residential solar you ever thought you would. So there's no harm, no foul. But once you sign up, Vicki and Jesse go to work, and they're the ones that do all the permitting. They take everything that's required, which literally takes 8 to 10 weeks from the time somebody signs up. It's that long for us to get this system installed on your property. Our physical time even our installers don't work as hard as Vicki and Jesse do, because putting solar on the house is a 2-day job, depending on how big the system is, maybe 3. But 8 to 10 weeks is all the paperwork and permitting and getting everybody to agree to this system and going through all the hoops. So they do a fantastic job for us, and they're really, really good at what they do. Vicki's been with us for longer than I have, and I've been here 7 or 8 years. So she's been doing this a while. So they do a great job for us. And then Alan, if you got something to add, I think I might have. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of details because we can do that once we sit down and you guys are fill out the form and we start talking more detail. You're muted.
I don't, Kelly, thanks. Everyone is pretty much filling in any thoughts I might have. We are seeing the one thing that we're seeing that is almost a surprise is excellent understanding of solar in many a greater percentage of homeowners and individuals that are looking at solar this year over even last year. So all I can say is we're going to do our best. One of the things that Kelly is mentioning, the reason some of the permitting takes 8 to 10 weeks is in Traverse City and actually Petoskey, you have to have an engineer We have to have an engineer do the roofing diagrams, maybe not the ground mount. So there are things that slow the process down. But once we get all of the data, we have just added 2 new apprentice electricians to our organization, and they're in a training process. So we're very excited to assist you in Groundworks in this expansion program this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alan, and Kelly, for your comments. Really appreciate the opportunity to work with you all again. Also wanted to give a shout out. I see Phil Loud is on here. Leelanau Energy has been another really great local partner in this work and helping us to spread the word. So thanks. Great to see you on this call. And just thank you so much for helping to raise awareness about this important program. I know we had a lot of folks in Leelanau last year sign on as a result of your outreach. So appreciate that. And yeah, we can now turn it over to folks to ask any specific questions they might have. I know we had a couple of questions in the chat that I just want to lift up first. Just, if folks are outside of the service territory that we mentioned, the 40 miles from Petoskey and Traverse City, definitely reach out to the folks at Solarize. They run a statewide program. And they may have something opening up in your area as well. So I would reach out to Marshall Clabo directly. He runs a great program over there. And then another question that we had was just about battery storage. And just to clarify, yes, the 15% discount does extend to the battery storage option as well, which is great when you're talking about a system that is potentially comparably expensive to the solar panels as well. So really cool to see that discount this year. Any other questions? We've got a quiet bunch here today.
I have a question. This is Tara Ward from Child and Family Services in Traverse City, and we're a nonprofit, and I've been kind of looking into having us get solar energy for a few years, the big barrier being the initial funds, of course, to get it going. I didn't know if y'all have any specific advice for a nonprofit like ours. Like all nonprofits, money's always tight, and just that initial investment is something that we can't necessarily come up with without a grant of some sort or something else. So if you have any ideas for me, that'd be great.
Alan, you want to tackle that?
Well, I can, yes, Tara, I can speak to it a little bit. We worked with St. Philip's Episcopal Church, essentially a nonprofit organization in Benzonia, Benzie County. And it took a little bit of work, but there is, they managed to get a little bit of a grant, and of course they did some internal fundraising as well. One of the things to keep in mind, it wouldn't apply to Traverse City, but it would apply to Kingsley or Kalkaska and many of the other communities in that 40-mile radius, is that there is a poverty clause that allows an additional 10% write-off, or 10% in a nonprofit sense. If you get approved as a nonprofit, then a check comes directly from the IRS, and we're essentially running out of time with that, because that could end in July 4th this year. But the poverty exemption, and also filing with the USDA, you could fill the forms out yourself with the help of we could help and give you all the scientific data to fill out a USDA request for your facility.
Okay, and what is that USDA request, Alan?
Well, USDA is a grant that is given if you qualify, and I can't give you the specifics. If you're in a area where USDA, Kelly, correct me, is Traverse in the USDA purvey, or is it just?
Yeah, we're actually in Garfield Township, right outside of Traverse.
Yeah, and there would, because you're a nonprofit, Tara,
Yeah.
you would qualify for the USDA. It's a REAP grant, REAP.
Okay, I did look into this before, and
Okay.
then they told us that we didn't qualify.
Ah,
But
okay. There are a number of different qualifiers, so I wasn't sure exactly which ones, but
yeah, I
and
mean,
what
I'd
Alan
be.
was referring to on the poverty adder of 10%. There
Mhm,
still is the, for residential, the 30% federal tax credit has gone away as of 2025,
mhm,
but it is still available for nonprofits. This doesn't address your upfront costs of getting started, but it does give you some return in that you can file for that, and it's because you don't pay taxes, it's not a tax refund or a rebate. What it is they basically, Alan, mentioned it. The IRS would send you a check for 30% of the total cost of the system. I don't know. Garfield Township might qualify for that poverty. The line is Brimley Road, and because I have a customer who looked into that on a residential level, and he's literally across the street where he didn't qualify. The people on the other side of the street would. But so that's something I can help walk you through, Tara. If you wanted, you and
yeah,
I could touch base in the next day or two.
yeah.
We can kind of look into that and
Oh,
see if
thank
maybe.
you,
But
Kelly.
that's something you would get back 6-8 months from now. It takes a while. It's not
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that's immediate return.
yeah. And so is that south of Burnley Road or north? Because
It
we're
was
we're
it
right
was
by the city limits of
Yeah,
Traverse.
you're north. I think it was north. There's a section of
Oh,
Garfield
okay.
Township because my customer lives in the condos to the south of Brimley on Highland Drive or whatever it is over there.
Okay.
And he couldn't get it just on the other side it was. So I have a map
Okay.
that shows you that I can
Okay.
I can forward to you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
There are a
Yeah.
few other things through possibly some assistance through Eagle. There are grants that pop through sustainability grants and
Mhm.
energy enhancement grants, but it's basically you have to keep looking. I saw something come through for municipalities trying to use sustainability or looking at cutting their energy costs. So my advice, and of course, we work with a company called Michigan Saves.
Mhm.
They are a very good company to deal with, and they do a lot of financing, up to even 15, 20 years financing of renewable energy and energy improvement. So, Kelly can impart, if you wanted to set with him a bit, Kelly can take a more detailed look at your situation and maybe be able to, give you some additional information.
Yeah, great. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
Uh, Peter
And
Reed had a
just
question about Michigan Saves. Alan, that was a good segue, by the way. Thank you.
Oh,
Uh, Peter Reed just posted a question: is Michigan Saves solar program separate from the CVS program? And the direct answer is no. We work with Michigan Saves for financing options, but you can still be on the Access Michigan Solar and get the discounted rate, even and get your financing through Michigan Saves. So yeah, I'd be happy to talk to Peter about that on a one-off also, because we can do that.
and the good thing to keep in mind with Michigan Saves versus your bank or a credit union. There is no lien on your property. It's just an arm's length transaction. You put the solar on your roof or on the ground, and the only asset that they have what you might say, some type of capacity to go after is the solar. So you're not having to go through some UCCs in some of the things that normally happen when you are buying a piece of real estate or property. And they've
Michigan Saves is considered an unencumbered loan. They don't, and CBS doesn't either. When we do systems, we don't put a construction lien on the house. We don't do any of those types of things. We do handshakes, and we get our work done, and our customers are happy. So we don't have to, threaten collateral. We don't need it. And Michigan Saves doesn't either.
Great conversation here. And just wanted to also plug that Stephanie Marchbanks is a really great resource with Networks Northwest. She's sort of the elective pay ambassador for Northern Michigan. So she can be another great person to reach out to, just going back to that elective pay piece.
And Ash, I'm also going to drop the recording link in the chat for anyone who wants to watch that. Stephanie Marchbanks just gave a presentation on how it all works and goes into depth, so I will drop that in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you.
I saw a question come through about St. Ignace. We do work in St. Ignace, but that really doesn't qualify for the Access Solar program, but don't lose hope. Kelly has a car and he can drive up, and we will do the best we can to put a program on your roof or on your property as well.
We can figure something out.
Sure.
Awesome. Thanks for your flexibility there. Keep the questions coming. These are really great.
One of the things I just want to kind of just throw out to everybody is we're a sales organization, and primarily, and we have no is not in our vocabulary. So everybody's situation is unique. Everybody's property is unique. Their solar system is unique. There's no cookie cutter on any of this. So we just tackle one job at a time, and we're really good at being creative to figure out how we can help each individual customer one way or another.
All right. Well, if there are no additional questions, then we can give you back a little bit of your lunch hour. But really appreciate everyone for joining us today. If you do have additional questions, please feel free to email me. My email was in the presentation, or reach out directly to CBS, and we can get some of those questions answered. If again, you just want to sign up, get a bid for your home going, I'll drop that link again in the chat just so that everyone has access to it. And yeah, just really appreciate everyone for joining us today.
Appreciate it, Ash. Thanks.
Hey, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.